I can make him not seem like his mom wasn't a part of who he is. You know, he told me I was going to cut his hair. I was dead set on cutting his hair. Um, and then I said something to him, and he looked at me. I think that was the first time he looked me dead in the eye, and he didn't say anything. And I was like, "You don't want me to cut your hair, do you?" And he told me no. And so I was like, "Okay." I said, "Let me call my niece. Let me see if she can come over here. She does hair." I said, "If she says your hair is healthy, we're gonna keep growing it out." The next day she showed up. She said, "Uncle, his hair is healthy. It's fine. It hasn't been
Mhm.
damaged like that." And I said, "Okay, that's good." I said, "Because he doesn't want to cut it." She said, "Okay, listen, his edges is a little rough. Just let it grow out." She said, "I'll get it, put his hair, I will wash his hair. We'll put it in a style that's comfortable for, his hair, and we'll take care of it." He got his hair done. That was the first time I seen him sit straight up. He was feeling his hair. So I was like, "You like your hair?" He was like, "Yeah." So it was so he was okay with telling me what he's okay with telling me what he do like and he don't like, is what I'm trying to say. So
Right.
he's talking to me. That's at least good.
Well, how is school going?
Yeah.
How was the first day of school? Was he excited? Was he nervous? Is it a? I imagine it's a better school because it's a better neighborhood. So how is he?
So he's not in school yet. So I picked him up on Thursday. We had a snowstorm on Friday. So they closed all the schools. I'm waiting. I just got the paperwork from CPS for to allow him to start school. I got his medical records. CPS has been on top of it. So I just got it today. I'm looking to enroll him tomorrow. So I'm sure
Okay.
how the schools work. I can get the paperwork going tomorrow, but he may not be going until Wednesday. So I'll keep you updated about his first day because I'm excited to see him on his first day too.
I know,
Um,
right?
Because I want him, like the thing that has bothered me with her and all of her children was the deficit when it came to their education. The
yeah,
reading, simple math skills, that bothered me. Cause Ty tells you this and anybody else in the chat that know me know I don't play by schoolwork. C is a DEF CON 3 in my house and I don't like it. So when I heard the kids reading
yeah.
or the fact most of them couldn't read really bothered me. So I'm really overly excited to hear how school goes, and I imagine it's a much better school. So
We talked about that as a family, and we talked about that as a family. My wife and my older two boys. My older two boys is 21. My 21-year-old is in college. And my 17-year-old, he's in his junior year. So that's one of the things, and they both live with me. So that's one of the things that we talked about is I was like, listen, I was like, how I feel about literacy. And my 17-year-old was like, yes, I know, Dad. Because I used to make him read to me every night. And he's a phenomenal student right now. He's a motivation. I gotta motivate him to get good grades. So he's funny about that. But anyway, we talked about it and we were like, yo, my 17-year-old said, "Yo, we got him. He gonna be reading on a high level, and he's competitive too. My 17-year old and him are very competitive. Like I watched them play the video game, and they're very competitive. So my son was like, "Yo, we got him. We got him. He got to read better than everybody in that school. I got him. He gonna outread all of them. So we gonna work on that." We gonna get him up to speed, and we gonna have him blowing it out the water. We gonna work on that,
I'm
and we gonna do it
excited.
as a family.
I am excited. That made my day. God is good.
Yes, it
Yeah, we
did.
go we gonna have him, and he's already intelligent, right? He's already smart. He's very observant. Um, and so what I learned is when, especially, and I only can talk about boys because I got boys. I wish I had a girl, and I'm sure all of us wish we had a girl, but with boys when they're observant and when they pay attention to little details, they want to learn. They just
Mhm.
want somebody to take time to teach it to them. And listen, I'm married, so I've learned patience. I'm married and I want to stay married, so I've learned patience. So I can be patient with him and we can go through it. I got him. We got him.
I'm so excited to hear this.
I
This made my
know.
day.
Yes. 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 So like going forward, have you like um well not going forward, like have you seen like what he's interested in as far as with like sports? Do he like,
Heck yeah.
drawing? Do he
Heck yeah. So
mm-hmm,
that's the first thing that's the first thing I do with my boys. I pay attention to them. So that's what I
mm-hmm,
did. That's why I didn't I've been quiet for a few days. I just watched them. One, I couldn't
mm-hmm.
stop smiling at them.
Oh,
So I just smiled at them and I just watched them. Um and you know, and so as I watched them, I seen them interact with my sons. So one of my sons liked to draw. Hezekiah went over to him and was like, "Hey man, that's nice." So my son gave him a page out of his book and said, "Why don't you try to draw?" And so he started drawing. So he likes to draw. He likes art. Um, and then, we got video games. And of course, I got boys. We got video games for days. Too many to tell you the truth. So I watched the games he played. Um, and he likes basketball. He absolutely likes basketball. But it makes sense because I come from a sports family, from basketball to football. I got cousins that played college level. I got my cousin's son just was playing for Notre Dame. So we are a strong academic and sports family. We so it makes sense that he has a competition spirit, but he loves basketball. Um he likes football. He loves basketball but likes football. He draws a lot, and and again, he has a competition spirit. So that's the thing that I've noticed about him so far. And he has a very, very, like, I'm trying to think of the way to say it. I have a baby in the house,
mm-hmm.
and he's very gentle with him. Um,
What?
and it's funny because when we got to the house, my son, my baby immediately took his, because he in his walker. He walked up
Mm-hmm.
to Hezekiah and just started playing with him, and Hezekiah
Oh,
started playing with him. So actually, it was my son who kind of broke the ice for him in the house, because he just walked up to him and started playing. It's like my younger son knew, like, yo, this guy I can deal with,
this
and he's
is
like
my
that with his
brother.
other brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like that with his other brothers. So when I see him move over to him, I'm like, okay, he has a spirit, a certain type of spirit for him. So he's very gentle with babies and kids. With the bigger kids, he a little rough. He'll talk his junk. He ain't backing down. But when it comes down to the baby, he is gentle. He tries to see if he's okay. He's asked my wife, is he okay? He's like, is he okay? Do he need anything? Um, so he has a very gentle kind of soul. So again, he's coming into it with older brothers and younger brothers. So he's falling in. He's been doing good. I'm a little handling things too.
Do you see any need, a possible need for him to have therapy after, you know, coming from where he's coming from?
Yes, yes. I think all the kids need therapy. I think the parents
Oh,
need their, in the way that they love their mom. I don't think that they're willing to reveal everything. And that's so I heard somebody say something and they said our first love comes from our mom. And they went to say our only love comes from our mom. I think we have that attitude, but it's not a healthy attitude to have. I got two boys, including Hezekiah right now, that are being raised by me and not their moms. So I get that. I get that statement is true because a lot of people in our community has been raised with just a mom. But you got to understand that love from a parent, period, whether it's a male or a woman, you know, they have. And so they want to protect her. And I can tell that he wants to protect her. I could tell. So that's why I won't ask him a lot of questions. But there's some things that therapy will help him. And I don't care to have to know everything if therapy can help him manage through it. Now, I'll be there to guide him through everything, but I think there's some things that he may have to deal with on his own, especially with dealing with his mom. And I don't want to make her out to be anything she hasn't already made herself out to be because as you see, I don't have to say anything
No, she did
negative
a
about
good
her.
job all
She
by
could
herself.
so my thing is anytime I've got online and I asked her to stop is because I don't want our kids to see that. Stop it where it is. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad that I did that because now that I have my son and I know how much he loves her, I wouldn't I don't regret asking her to stop. Because actually he wants her to stop.
Okay.
And I think that was probably the biggest issue is that she didn't hear when people told her to stop. They just didn't really like it. Um, so yeah,
Well, I'm excited for progress.
Yes,
I'm,
me too.
I'm excited for change. I'm excited for an opportunity for him to know what it's like to have his daddy, to know that his daddy does exist, that he did not miss out on the opportunity to have daddy and have brother and have a motherly figure in his life, even though that's not his bio mom, he still gets to have, a taste of what a real mama is supposed to be. And so I'm
yeah,
excited for him to have that because you don't have to be blood to have somebody to love you.
No,
And
you don't.
that's
I think
and
he
that's
getting
right.
ready to figure it out and see that
And
firsthand. And I'm
that's
excited for that.
and that's the thing too. I'm a stepdad. So when I talk about my boys, my 21-year-old, you never heard me call him my stepson. That's actually my stepson, but he's my boy.
No,
Um,
our mind bonus.
and that you ain't got to say you ain't got to about him. But I've always make sure he understands that, yeah, I might be dad, but you still have your father. That's the one thing that we are not ever going to do in our house is act like the other parent don't exist. What we do tell our boys is continue to pray that something change within the other parent and then y'all relationship change. That's what we always do. And that's what we say. We ain't got no time to be bashing another parent because we understand how hard it is to be a parent. So there's no need to bash the other parent. That's why I don't have anything negative to say to her. Another thing I never needed to ask anybody for anything. She's and she has contacted me. I've tried to whether she accepted it or not was another people can
Hold on, Jarrod. I'm not sure if
later to
you're in the
do.
area. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Are you in the area? Because you were
Oh, you
breaking up and it was hard to hear you for a second.
okay? What's the last thing you heard?
You don't bash the other parent. You keep them in prayer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we don't do that because we understand how hard it is to be a parent. And so because we understand how hard it is to be a parent, we don't have time to bash another parent, but we figure, and I tell my boys all the time, we not perfect, we make mistakes. So it's no way I'm going to hold another parent to not making mistakes. And that's just how we gonna be. I don't have anything crazy to say towards her. um but I will say this: she's never needed anything with me being around. And I'm gonna tell you what I mean by that. She could have always called me and asked me for anything. um I gave her child support for 8 years. You know what I'm saying? Maybe not completely 8 years. I think the child support didn't start until he was like one or two. But she's never needed. If she called me, if she accepted it or not was another thing. She does a lot of accepting if she wants to. That's another thing that it's hard to explain that to people, but it's easy to explain it to the people on here, because I think you guys have seen her. People try to give her advice and she pick and choose what she wanted to take in. That's how she has been with me my entire time knowing her. She pick and chooses when she wants me to be present or anything. I can't You can't do anything when you dealing with a person like that. That's hard because you want to help, but you that if a person isn't willing to receive it, it falls on deaf doors all the time. So that's something that I'm going to continue to ask people to pray for her in particular, that as she kind of accept certain help and accept certain people and accept certain things, that's trying to help her, because I believe that a lot of people on here actually tried to help her, but she rejected it. That's my opinion.
100%. I
Yes,
agree
I agree.
100%. And not that
Hmm.
this matters, but it's just out of curiosity for me because I hear you speak about the Lord all the time. What type of church do you attend? What denomination?
So you gonna kill me with this one. I haven't so the church that I go to now is my cousin's church. And I'm still figuring out where I belong. You know what I'm saying? I follow it's Christian values in my house, but
Hmm.
I'm just gonna be honest with you. You gotta, as you become adult, you start looking at things in reality.
Hmm.
And so and then you see things. I grew up in the church and I grew up around church people. Notice how I said church people and church is two different things. And you see a lot of negativity and things that go on. You got people who go to church every day and they're evil. And then you got people who actually attend to be good. So I'm still trying to figure out a place that's best for me. Right now, my cousin has a church and he does it online, and it's through Zoom and it's through his Facebook. And I usually help with that. Um, I help him with that. So I'm Christian. I'm helping build Christianity is what I like to say. uh at the moment, but I'm still figuring out where God wants me to be is spiritually. So until then, I'm saying Christianity, but that could change next year, you know.
I can respect that. I can respect that. Works for me.
Yeah, and
You
I'm
know,
and
he
I'm right with you on that, Jarrod. I'll just, pray to my higher power and keep it moving.
and let me say this: it's hard. It's easy when you're a kid to believe what everybody tell you. It's hard when you're an adult and went through things to believe everything that was being told to you. So I
Hmm.
think we have to go through life and figure that spiritual part out. Um, and so to help you out also, my 21-year-old is a Christian. He goes to his own church. He
Mom
plays
is
music, a Christian. So she raised him with Christian values. So my sons is whatever is I'm helping them to figure out what they are willing to be and what they want to do, because I'm not going to be here forever and they need to figure out what they want to do spiritually. I tell them they need to have some type of spiritual relationship. That's what I do say. Some type of spiritual relationship. Gandhi, Buddha, whatever you want to believe in, you know what I'm saying? You need to believe in it. Muslim, you find something that gives you a base. Find something that gives you a base, because not everybody needs a base, but most people need a base. That's how I believe.
I
Okay.
agree.
Yeah.
So, if you don't mind, sharing with the people, as far as I know, like your wife, she's acceptance, of Jeremiah. I mean, not Jeremiah. I'm sorry, Hezekiah. Um, so how do you want to share, like, as far as of how she feels about Muriel?
Um, so first of all, my wife is dope. You know what I'm saying? I made a
Period.
lot of bad decisions. Listen. I only have one child with my wife, so that
Hmm.
means that I'm bringing a bunch of kids from different women, and so I made a lot of mistakes in my younger years, and I had to figure out that. So when I met my wife is a wonderful person. I don't deserve her. By the grace of God that I got her. And
Yes, you do
let
deserve
me
her.
tell you,
You deserve it.
she picked me. She picked me. So
Mm,
that means that God led her to me. So
yes.
I never take that to granted. You know what I'm saying? I was bad at picking women. I was, apparently. But let
We
me
know
also say
that. We
this
can
too.
agree with that. That we can agree with that 100%. Amen.
you
Like,
You were
know,
young. You was young. You was young. You were young.
but
Immature.
but so my wife has been wonderful. I told my wife before we got married, the one thing that I learned is you give people the option. So before I got married, I told my wife, like, listen, these are the things that I've done in my life. I have a kid that I really would like to have a relationship with. That was Hezekiah. And I said,
Hmm.
I don't know how it's going to be. I said, the most I can do is wait till he's old enough to where she's not influencing him. And then I can hope that I didn't damage him and then we can have a relationship. This is what I told my wife before we were married. I told her
Okay.
that. So my wife has had several years to accept this, pull this in and everything. Me and my wife could not have kids. Because I had, I had a lot of weight on me, and it wasn't healthy. My wife the same thing. And then just about during the pandemic, I was like, listen, I want to live for the boys. So I had to wind up, I lost like 90 to 100 and something pounds. So,
Mm,
and then ironically, we had another kid. We were trying, but it didn't work. So we wanted another kid. We wanted more kids. So to have one was a blessing, right? So to
that
add Hezekiah, my wife is ecstatic. She could care less. She wanted to adopt. So for to have him in the house, my wife loves it.
she's that.
My
Oh,
wife is all for it. My wife, like, just last night, she went to the store. She asked Hezekiah, "Do you want to go with me?" It
okay.
was like, "Yo, I'm about to wash his clothes. Do you want me to wash it?" She's always talking to him. She always, yeah, she's hanging out with him. Like, he hung out with her today while I went to work. My
Oh,
wife, my wife was built to be a mother, but she only had
good.
one kid when I met her, but she wanted more. So my wife, my other boys love her. Like, they can forget about me, but love her.
Hmm. Right,
So,
they're bond with
um,
hers. Hmm.
but let me get off of her, but because I can keep talking about
talk
her.
your shit.
Shoot,
Listen,
she is
But
stepmama now.
amazing. That's why I said. I mean, shoot, it's good
but
though, but it's wonderful to have women like that in
she
this
handled
world.
it like a she handled it like a G. She was just like, yo, I told her, I was like, I gotta go and pick him up. She said, no, we going to pick him up. Um, I was
I know
like,
that's right.
all right, I don't know what to expect. She said, this is what you do. She said, you go in that building alone because he should get to see you first before he
I
see
know
me.
that.
And
Hmm.
I'm like, all right, I hear you. Okay. So it's my wife is a solid person. You know what I'm saying? And I listen
Sound
to
like
her.
it.
I've learned how to listen to her, but my wife also knows when to step back and let me be a dad.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, don't treat him like that. Don't say things. So she has a really good balance. Her parents have been together for years, so she has a really good balance. My parents weren't together, but my parents had super respect for each other. Like my
Mm-hmm.
dad would not let me. I remember I got whooped 2 times in my whole life. No, I got yelled at by my dad 2 times in my whole time in my life. And both times was when I said something bad about my mom. And the one thing my dad said is, you never talk bad about your mom because when I'm not around, she was there. So
Right.
my dad put inside of me a level of love and respect, even though he wasn't with my mom. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? To my dad dying day, the last week he was in this world, he said to me, I called him at the hospital and he said to me, hey, is your mom good? I called her and she didn't sound like herself. I said, don't worry, Dad, I'll call her and I'll make sure she okay. That's how my dad was. So
Right.
um so I with my wife and her parents that respect each other and my mom and my dad who weren't married and respect each other, it's nothing but a lot of respect. So their relationship has been pretty solid so far. She talks to him. She's pulling him out and hanging out with him separate from me. I think it is going to be a different. It's definitely is a culture difference because I'm a certain way. It's been he's been gelling. He's been kind of jumping in with everybody. They went to the and my wife got out to grab the groceries. he,
Breaking up.
you know what I'm saying? So he does. So
You faded out.
let me
We
say
lost
this.
you at my wife got out to get the
Okay.
groceries.
Oh, okay. So my wife got out to get the groceries. And so when she went to go grab the groceries, Hezekiah jumped out of the car and said, "No, let me grab them," and took them out of her hand and brought them in the house. One thing I want to say is we don't really. Can you hear me?
We can.
Okay. I think sometimes we don't appreciate little stuff like that. And I feel a certain way that I do. I will say this. I feel a certain way about how Muriel showed them on the app because she didn't really show how dope these kids are. Um, I heard I, I talked to Cooper and I hear how he talk about his son. His son is dope. I heard him talk about the girls and he having fun. I'm talking to my son and he's a dope kid. I don't think they got enough love. I don't think people they got to see how dope these kids really are. It wasn't I truly believe it wasn't them, it was mostly her. You know, that's probably as far as negativity I'll say about her is I don't think it was the kids. I think it was her. Because I haven't seen anything that would make me say these kids is terrible. I just haven't.
And you're not the only one. We had Aya in Israel, and she also
Mhm.
stated that and actually with Jeremiah, she's speaking on all of them, and she said they are doing very well at the house with her. She doesn't understand or could even identify, where the problem was. Or what their problem was, at the house, but they're doing just fine. You know, they eating good and eating all their food, and I
Yeah.
guess the kids are respecting who they're with. So she don't know what was going on at home. That's what she said. She don't know what's going on at home, but they're doing just they're doing wonderful there with her. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I mean, I wish I could. I, I'm speechless because, like I
Mhm.
said, there's normal things, right? Like,
Mhm.
he's not used to certain things, right?
Right.
We're a little organized in the house. He's not very organized. That's something you can teach. You know,
Yeah.
he doesn't appreciate certain things. Well, he doesn't know how to appreciate things because he's never had a lot of good things,
That's right.
right?
Fact.
So those are things that don't make you a bad kid. That just make you
Mhm.
a kid that hasn't experienced things. So because you haven't experienced it and you haven't seen people appreciate it, he doesn't know. He didn't. He, we appreciate. My, we keep the car clean because we appreciate it. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Right.
We keep the refrigerator full because we appreciate people eating. We do certain things because we appreciate. So it's going to eventually show him to appreciate the same things because we appreciate it. If you don't show appreciation, they're not going to show appreciation. And I truly believe that it may have been the case is that they didn't see certain appreciations on her behalf and they in turn, reacted off of that. But, you know, his mouth ain't crazy. His mouth is crazy, but it ain't crazy like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No,
He
he gonna
don't
get back
manage
with
that situation.
Right. Teachable
You
moment.
get what I'm saying?
you. Mhm.
Yeah, you teach him how to manage that. You know what I'm saying? Yo, you can't do that to the teacher. You do that to the teacher, there's some punishment that go on with that. And I gotta punish you.
Mhm.
Do you really want me to punish you because you can't keep your mouth in check? Of course he's gonna act different. Yo, I don't want my dad to get on me, so let me react different. Of course, you just talk to him in a way to help them understand that there's cause and effect. And I think that he is mature enough to understand that. He has, through my conversations with him, he showed me that he's mature enough to understand certain conversations.
Mhm. That's great. So, it was times that as far as with school, there, Hezekiah was like, I guess she has stated that a few times that he had gotten suspended. Um,
Mhm.
do you think that that situation will change for him since he's going to be going to a new school and is going to be in a new environment? Do you
Well,
think
he
his
he can't get he
behavior
can't
will
get suspended
improve?
on my watch. He can't get suspended on my watch. We don't
I
have
Right.
know
that.
that's right.
I know
I
that's
know
We don't
that's
right.
have that.
right.
But what we will do is we will assess every situation and I will help him understand where he's not right or where he may be
Mhm.
right. That's what we're gonna do. But he doesn't I told him that the way we do things in the house is if I don't
Mhm.
do it, you can't do it in the house. So that's my way of keeping me in check and keeping them in check. So if you don't see me walking around cussing out my wife, you can't go around cussing out a woman. If you don't
I
see
know that.
me, if I ain't cussing you out, then you can't go into that school and cuss somebody out. If you don't see me do it, and trust me, I can say this to y'all. I have every means to cuss somebody out. And if I can compose myself and not cuss somebody out, you can hold your composure and not cuss somebody out. So,
Mhm.
and that's how I'm going to come at him, and that's how I choose to deal with him. And I think I think his behavior is different now. So I don't see myself having too many crazy things with him, and he seems to want to learn.
I know that's right.
That's the part that
Yes,
I
he
don't
does.
understand. He seems to want to, but he does like validation. Um, so he likes to do something and hear you say, "Yo, you did good." So that's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here. That's
Right.
what that's my number one job as a dad is to help give validation, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
His hair looked
Positive
nice. I told him, "You
reinforcement.
looking
Yes.
good." You know what I'm saying? He walking through the mall, he got some new shoes on. I it's crazy because my sons seen him and was like, "Yo, man, them kicks look nice. You look nice." It's because they give validation. They say nice things because I'm always saying it to them. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
I randomly give my 17-year-old a kiss on his forehead. I don't care.
That's
You
right.
my son. You know
That's
what I'm
Period.
right.
saying? So and so the same thing with Hezekiah. Every time he go to sleep, good night, kiss on the forehead. Yeah, if nobody told you, I'm not looking for him to say I love you back to me. If you,
Mm-hmm.
every single day you gonna hear me say I love you. One,
You.
I'm making up for
Mm-hmm.
all the 8 years I couldn't say it. That's one. Two, that's just
Yes.
who I am. If you don't hear it from anybody, you ain't never gonna son sometimes drop off my 17-year-old to school, and I say, "Yo, I love you. Drive safe." If don't nobody say it, you gonna hear it from me.
Period.
My son went out of town um a couple weeks ago, and I randomly sent him a text message while he was in Florida, and I said, "Yo, I just want you to know I love you, and I'm proud of you. You doing good. You working. You in college. I love you." What what? He getting all of that, and Hezekiah gonna get all of that too. He gonna get
As he
all of it,
should.
and guess what? Ain't nothing he can do about it. That's how
I
I
I know
know
feel
that's
that's
about it.
right.
right. I know
Well,
that's right.
listen,
Cause
let me ask you
I,
this. Go ahead, Ty. I'm sorry.
I know cause I just wanted to say this that I say it all the time. Kids are sponges. So what you say and what you do, it kind of reflects or projects off to them. So if you speak, if you say certain things or certain words, they will repeat. You understand what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
when she was in
Yep.
the house, not bashing her, but it's the truth. When she's in the house, cussing and talking to them, as if they are niggas and bitches off the street, that's how the kid's
Yeah.
going to talk to her. So when you are saying things like I love you, you look handsome today, or you look good, and make the kids feel special and good about themselves, and installing these good words in them, they're going to say it back.
Yeah.
And she was just messing up when she was talking like that. It irked my nerve when she spoke
And,
to those kids like that,
and you know,
and I just felt like
and
that
you
was so wrong.
why
Well, piggybacking off of
you
what
know
you said, Ty, some of the
you know
things
what's
that she
he
said
watches.
around them. Go ahead, Gerard.
I'm sorry. What you say, Gerard?
Yeah, yeah. Hold on, before you go. You know what's wild? He watches everything I
Hmm.
do, and the weird thing is, yeah, he probably watching me because he's still trying to learn how to trust me, and that's one of the reasons I asked him, is he okay with me talking online? Because I want to build a level of trust. But not only that, he watches me. Everything I do,
Hmm.
when I'm cooking, when I'm walking around the house, when I'm talking to people, when I'm holding the baby, he's watching everything I'm doing, which lets me know he trying to see if this is who I am today, tomorrow, yesterday, and on. And I have to prove to him that this is who I am. This is your dad. This is what I do. And we say sometimes we ain't got to prove nothing to our kids. Yes, we do. We got to prove that we love them.
Oh
We
yeah.
do. We
Yes.
do. Saying, because if we don't, they're gonna try to find that love somewhere else, or through something that's
Or in
negative.
something else.
So
Yep.
again, yeah. So again, I he don't me, and he try to stay as I, because he wants to be as he should. Period. He should watch me. Just like we watch everybody else. We watch
Hmm.
people we go to work with. We watch people. So he
Right.
should be watching me. And I should add up to some of his expectations. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And that's it.
And
Well, let
that's
me ask you
wonderful.
this. Muriel has basically, from what we can see on this app, has been teaching her kids to hate or dislike white people and gay people. And I caught a little glimpse of one of your babies, so I want to say it's safe to say that maybe they're biracial. And so I asked that question that,
Oh
because
man.
this is something that she teaches how do you plan on kind of, I guess, undoing the damage done with that whole situation?
You can't do that in my life. My 17-year old, his mom is white. Um, my wife is Asian. My
Okay.
son is Asian and black. My oldest son, and I'm saying this because we are a very biracial family. My other two sons, they're black. He is coming into complete culture different. He has to understand that some stuff has happened, and I'm sitting in the car with my wife, and I look at her and I say, "You ain't gonna get me to say nothing bad about black people. You ain't gonna do it because I love who I am." Just because I marry somebody different, I love who I am. I'm going to teach Hezekiah to love who he is. He's going to marry who he wants to marry. Just like I teach my
Hmm.
sons, you are who you are. My oldest son is Asian. My 21-year-old is Asian. He wants to marry somebody that's Asian. That's what you do. Love is love. You know what I'm saying? We don't play. I don't play that in my house. I don't play that. It's my friend, when my friends came over this weekend, I got friends since middle school. You got black friends, white friends, Indian friends, they showing up. Now, my high school I went to was only black people, but these is people, some of these people I met along the way. Asian people, Indian people, Chaldeans. That's what my life consists of. My life consists of all different type of people, and we learn how to respect everybody a certain way. Are we going to be more prejudiced towards our people? Absolutely. I love my people more than anything. You ain't gonna get me to deny that. And that's how he will be. You gonna love who you are. Because the first to love yourself, you have to love everything about you. You have to love your hair, you have to love your color, you have to love your skin. And then you can figure out how to love other people. So absolutely, you know what I'm saying? It's a culture shock for him, but that's cool because he need it. But he's still gonna know he a black man, and I'm raising him to be a black man, and he gonna love his black self. That's what it
All
is.
right. Now, what
So
about the
my
gay
mixed
people? Because
son,
she hates gay people. She
listen,
absolutely
ain't no
preaches, and
such.
she has preached to them about men laying with men, hell, you name it. Put ones in the
You
chat
know,
if y'all heard her speak against gay people
You know,
before.
you know what's crazy about that? You know what's crazy about that? I tell my 17-year-old, because I recommend my 17-year-old, my 21-year-old not to date right now. But what I tell them is I'm raising them to be good men, to one day go out there to be good husbands, whether that's to a man or a woman. I'm raising you to be a good man, to be a good partner or a good husband. Let me see. Let me that girl, I'm not gonna do that.
You always free to do it here.
Listen, no, I'm not gonna do it. We, if you were raised in the black culture, right? You went to church, right? The first gay people we seen was choir directors. Not saying every
Ain't
choir director
that's
was
the
gay.
truth.
Now
Nah, the
we
minister
was
of music.
raised. Now we, how in the hell you gonna tell me you bias against gay people? And we were raised in situations. If you didn't have, we had crackheads walk down the street that was given for crack. So you telling me we've been around gay people my whole life? If you lived in the hood, if you went to church, how you gonna hate gay people?
Hey,
And that's and
well,
that's a part of our culture. That's a part of who we are. If you dislike it because of your religion, go ahead, keep being hateful. But that's also why I told you earlier, I have to figure out my spiritual background, because
uh-huh.
I can't do certain things that certain churches want me to do. I'm not going to be angry at somebody because they're not what they're not Christian enough, or they're not Muslim enough. I can't do that. So that's why I'm saying I'm figuring out my Christian walk as well, because I don't always agree with everything. You know,
I can respect that.
that's just it. But he can't afford to hate white people. He can't afford to hate gay people, because everybody gonna be around me, and I come from a business family. I'm an engineer, and we always around people, always. You know what I'm saying? And so if he gonna be something one day, which I know he is because I see him, I can see it in him. He gonna be around all different type of people, and he gonna have to integrate with all different type of people. And I'm gonna be there to teach him how to respect everybody. Watch him, but also respect him enough. You know what I'm saying? And that's it.
So, Cola, James, did you have any questions for Gerard, sis?
No, sis, y'all hit everything on the head. Gerard, praises to you. You are a stand-up guy, and we knew from the beginning that all them kids needed was a change of atmosphere, and it would bring out the best in them. So, salute to you for getting your son. You're dope. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
Well, in
I'm
a joking, I got a jokingly question, but I guess she may be kind of
Go
serious.
ahead.
Um,
Go ahead.
you know, my petty sister on this app, Scorpio Sniper, has inquired that, if you may want to take on a sister wife because she likes what she's hearing. She likes what she hearing.
No.
Scorpio, can you say something in the comments? She listen, she's a beautiful woman. She got nice heavy bosom. I mean, hey, y'all might be on to something.
Oh my goodness.
Y'all might be on to something.
oh goodness gracious. No, but
Well, there she
this
go.
is so wonderful, Gerard. I really appreciate you for coming over here and just and keeping us, updated. Oh, he's in the blinds right now.
Shanice say it's more of us down here. Wait a minute now. How many sister wives y'all trying to get my man with now? I guess he go get that daughter after all. Y'all keep it up.
I'm so happy this happened today. This was a feel good time. Like this, you know what I'm saying? Like this was real nice to hear from him what's really going on with Hezekiah. Like
Yes,
it's
it's so
nothing but up
happy.
from here.
Well, y'all got to
And
remember. I see y'all in. But I say
I know I'm gonna see you.
Hezekiah told him not to be on here too long, so
Okay,
we
I was
might
Is
struggling.
allow.
Hezekiah telling you get off the phone?
No, you know that was guy because she was like sister wife. Don't be playing with me.
Uh oh.
Don't be
Well,
messing up
that's
Don't
this
y'all
get
good
don't
thing
get
I
answer
got going
Gerard in
on.
trouble,
for the
y'all.
ones
Don't
in
get
the
him in trouble.
comments that she ain't
Is
having it. She ain't having it.
He ain't
No.
having it. It's
my
not going. Okay.
my it's funny because I told because that's the one thing me and my wife. Me I love my wife. We've had the tough conversations. We've had conversations, and I'm saying this because I recommend other married people to do the same thing. Have conversations about if cheating goes on. Have conversations about if you want to be with somebody else. Have conversations about all of this stuff. Me and my wife, before we got married, we had all of those conversations. That's why
Hmm.
this isn't anything that's surprising. Um, we had tough conversations. The reason I wanted to have tough conversations because I wanted to get all that mess out of the way, right? So my wife has never told me that I couldn't do anything crazy. My wife is totally if I do something crazy, you know what I'm saying? My wife is don't have a problem with that. But my wife don't want to be surprised. That's what she's
Right.
always told me. She don't want to hear it from
Yes.
nobody else. She wants to hear it from me, and she wants it to be a respect between me and her. And I'm gonna be honest with you. Even though she even gave me that rule, even though she told me that, it's almost like the fact that
You
she
don't
told me
want
that,
to.
I don't want to
Hmm.
do it.
I
Period.
don't
Right.
blame you.
Period.
I'm
You
like, I like,
what do you need? What can another woman give you that she's not already, giving you?
I
You
know
got the
that's how
complete
she.
package
I
right
know,
there.
I know.
Hmm.
She messed up the game. You
Nah,
know what
Period.
I'm
she ain't
saying? She
mess it
messed up
up.
the whole game.
She ain't mess up nothing because I don't blame her.
Listen,
Listen, with y'all know
listen.
that women know the difference
Like,
between sugar and shit, and she knows she got sugar, and you know you
see
got
Period.
it
that,
too. So why mess it up?
Why
and
mess it
and
up? You
that's
don't need
why
nobody
that's
bringing it.
why that's why I say that's why one of the things that when she has tried to say stuff about me, Because I somebody sent me the video when she was talking about me, talking about your family got to be surprised, this and this. My family ain't surprised. My family ain't surprised. We
And they
talk.
welcomed
We
my baby with open
and that's
arms.
it.
Thank
That's
you.
it. You
Yep.
heard me. You heard me say I called my niece to do his hair, and she was there the next day. You want to know why? Because I'm a cool uncle. Because I make
That's
sure I
right.
take care of my nieces. When they dad was in a situation, I made sure every Valentine's Day until they got out of high school in Dayton that I bought them Valentine's Day gifts
I know
because I
that's
wanted
right.
them to know, and if your dad couldn't be there, I got your back.
Muriel fucked up, man.
You
Muriel
know,
She
really
Yeah, she
fucked up
did,
did.
because
Velvet. I was
Gerard
just
sound
about to
like a
say
and
good,
that. If you up in the
like you
window,
could have
Muriel,
had something, bitch.
yeah, you
You could have
dropped the
had
ball.
something.
let
Or
me
not
You
even
and let
dropped
me
that.
it
say
and
Even
this,
stepped
if
on it.
and let me say this. I didn't date her because she was a young girl. She went hard for me. My problem was it was a situation, and I didn't, and it wasn't that I wanted to break up with her. I just felt like she needed to deal with that situation before she could deal with me.
hmm
And she chose not to and got upset with me. And then that sent us down this path. We've never had we never went through any domestic violence stuff. We never went through anything. So my thing was, I did prepare for a person that I could be with. That's what the ideal was. The problem
hmm
was in a month and a half, I realized she couldn't be that, right? So, but in a month and a half, apparently my dumb ass couldn't put on a condom. Well, I chose not to put on a condom. That is
Right.
my mistake. You get what I'm
hmm
saying? So that's the
But you
catch
received the
with our
blessing.
situation.
hmm
That's the catch with our situation. It was just that I didn't think she was there enough to be in a relationship. And again, we were having fun. Of course, you have fun within those first 2, 3 months, but
Right.
there's something that click inside and say, yo, is this for me? And I realized that it wasn't for me. I realized it wasn't for me after she lost it. And you seen some of the messages. You seen some of the messages. She lost it.
Yeah, I seen
And
some of
when
them too. That bitch was crazy.
and And when she lost it, I made a decision. And I made a decision to protect the people that I love, by
hmm
not dealing with her. The baby situation just made it more complicated and more complicated and more complicated. But I had already, we were dealing with each other that it wasn't going to work. And I think that bothered her more than anything. You can't be, listen, if Tupac broke up with you,
hmm
you will feel a certain way, right? You'll be like, okay, Tupac broke up with me. But if Biggie broke up with you, you like, this fat nigga ain't going. So I was Biggie. She wasn't ready for
I
me to
don't know.
break up
I
with her.
like fluffy niggas. I'm a chubby chaser. I like fluffy niggas, so that's all right
Listen,
with me. I feel
listen,
some kind of way.
listen. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm telling you right now. I didn't realize until I got older that my wife is older. I love older women. I love older women to death. Not only that, I like thicker women. So there is, and so again, my type of one, my wife laughs at me because she says, that's not even your type. I know Muriel isn't my type. I just thought this could, step outside of myself and do something different. My black ass should have stayed exactly where I was at,
Hmm.
you know? Um, but that's just what it is, you know what I'm saying? But let me also say this too. This person you have now wasn't that extreme when I was dealing with her. Remember, I came at her only having 2 kids. This extreme of her now, I didn't get to see this. So as you guys are watching certain things now, I'm starting to see it too. And you know, it's kind of it's not just scary, but it's one of those things where I say, yo, I know when a person need prayer, so pray for her. So
Right.
if you going say stuff, pray for her. If you going, you know, be mad at her, pray for her. That's a person that needs some serious prayer. And when you play with spiritual stuff, this is what I've learned too. When you play in the spiritual realm, spiritual things are going to come after you. She has played
Hmm.
in the spiritual realm so much that the only way to get her out is spiritual prayer. So what I'm saying to people is they need to start praying for her. That's fine if you want to send her cash apps. I wouldn't, but I would pray for her. That's fine if you want
Do
to
you
make
think
comments, but I would pray for her.
do you think that
Go
she
ahead.
has the potential to be a better mother?
Ooh, that was a
Mm.
good question.
Yeah.
uh Getting out of my feelings about that one. Ooh, that was a good one. Um
I think he answered the question.
I want to believe so. And I if you would have asked me this question on Wednesday before I picked up Hezekiah, I would have told you, I would have gave you a different answer. But I think that I'm hopeful now because of Hezekiah. Um he makes me want to believe in her again because he does. But
Okay.
the adult in me says we've been down this road before, and I just got
Hmm.
to prepare him for whatever may come.
Come
So I
right,
want to
right.
believe that she can be, but I've also have to prepare him to be able to deal with whatever comes our way when it comes down to her.
Okay,
That's
so
the best way I
Hezekiah
can
is still
answer that.
holding on the faith that she may change for the better, is what you're saying, basically.
Of course.
No, it's just the love that he has
Yeah,
for
of
her,
course. Yeah, of
as
course.
his mother.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a great answer, Gerard. I
And there's
applaud you for that.
no you know what I'm saying? We supposed to hope with our kids. So I'm that's where I'm at. You know, I gotta believe for him. Now the question is, do I want him to go back? Hell no. Hell no. You know, I don't want him to go back. Is that decision up to me? Not really. But you know what? I'm gonna do everything to try to keep him in my house because I feel like I can do it a little better.
Yeah.
Okay, so
You
Do
it
know,
you
and
think
I
is
it,
think
like
and I
it's a temporary custody right now.
as as a paperwork right now, but
Hmm.
again,
Right.
there's things that she didn't even talk about, and there's things that I didn't learn until I went into that hearing, and there's things that has not been completely revealed. So we don't know what's going to happen. But everybody, listen, I came on here and I said, and I never made excuses for not really being there. Well, I did make a few excuses for not being there for 8 years, but
Hmm.
I accepted that I needed to do better. And
Hmm.
so it's a lot. Some people need to just take accountability. And it sucks when people make you take accountability, because when people have to make you take accountability, you're no longer in control of it. They're now in control. So she's a little bit of a controlling person, and now she has to deal with people who now have, telling her that they're in control, and I don't know how that's going to end up.
do you think
Okay.
And
Hezekiah
no matter how, it's tough.
do you think Hezekiah realizes that his mama was lacking in the motherly aspect of what mamas is now that he kind of sees what a normal family is, what a normal family runs like?
He
Thank
saw
you. I don't know who sent that, but thank you.
him.
You breaking up.
Listen, he saw it before he walked into my house. Yeah. Okay, so from my understanding, can you hear me now?
I can.
Yes.
Hey, can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah,
So
we can hear you.
from talking to him, I think he's realized it a while ago. I think that he realized certain things weren't supposed to be like this. He's a very he's very observant. They are, I believe that those kids are way more mature than they should be at their ages. So I think he looks at things and he already kind of knew that. I think that he's kind of in a state of shock right now that we actually move the way we do. I cook in the morning, I cook dinner, what I'm saying? I actually, I think he's a little more shocked about that, but this is what we do.
Are you
So
concerned for Muriel's mental health? Like, do you think that she has some mental issues? I
You
mean,
ask him, did you see
I
the text messages she sent me?
I know, I know.
I've been worried for a
What to,
long
well,
time.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. Those
This
messages to me don't signify mental health. It seems like a woman who got good pipe and didn't know how to let it go. That's what I
You
read
stupid.
when
You
I.
stupid. I ain't gonna play with you on that one.
But
So
it's the
yes, I
truth.
do believe.
But that's what I
So I
read.
do.
That's what.
So I do believe that there's certain things. We have to accept that addictions are addictions, right? We're most commonly known to addictions as being, alcohol, cigarettes, sex. But what we're not prone to is uh so which is new, right? It's new. Social media presence is can be an addiction. People
Mhm.
looking at you is an addiction. We are, and remember, some of us are a lot older, so we remember dial up, right? We remember the so we
Hmm.
come from that era. So that era understood addiction as what it was. Now these are new addictions that's showing up. Social media, you know what I'm saying? D- Stuff we ain't never did before, lean, stuff we ain't play with, Percocet, stuff we ain't do. So now these people are on new different addictions, and I believe that these new level of addictions, you do need certain help, and it does mess with you mentally. So I do think she probably need to figure out her mental status, and I don't think she need to figure out her mental status for me, uh or for any of the other dads. Figure it out for the kids, because
Mhm.
more than anything, they want it. So if you can say forget me, you can say forget everybody on this app. Do it for them.
So has Hezekiah spoke with you yet? I know, everybody is getting to know each other and get comfortable with each other, but has he brung up or s- like talked about situations that happened at home or um anything regarding Patrick?
Um, so I don't want to trigger anything, so I've kept it
Hmm.
I've kept it very vague and narrow. Um, and my son gave me some advice too.
Hmm.
Just ask certain questions, don't treat him like he doesn't know. So he did reveal something to me that was very major.
Okay.
And it was simple.
Hmm.
It was something simple that I believe that it, it was simple for her to adjust and change, and she refused to. Um,
Hmm.
and it caused in certain situations to happen. Uh, Unfortunately, I- it's certain things is just real sad.
Right.
And so he's told me stuff. I found out stuff from the hearing. I'm
Hmm.
finding out different things, and just to be honest with you, I think it's more than even that we all know. So I don't do. Let me say this. Let me say this. A lot of
Hmm.
people on this app may have been the reason why certain things got attention, but
Hmm.
there was a catalyst that was being pushed way before you guys got addressed to it. And
Right.
a lot of her issues happened prior to this. A lot of
Right.
you know stuff happened before this. if you get if we
I
bring
say,
all y'all did
hmm
all y'all did was bring marshmallows to the campfire.
right,
And some of y'all
right.
brought the marshmallows, some of y'all brought the graham crackers, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm
You know, some people brought different things, you know what I'm saying? And then some people, you know what I'm saying, threw water on the fire, right?
mm,
But
hmm
nonetheless, none of y'all started the fire.
Oh no,
Nobody
I
on
knew
this
that. Hmm
nobody on this app started that fire. She started the fire and she brought everybody else into it.
Right.
You know, and she won't take responsibility for that,
For it.
which is
Hmm
weird to me. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
there's certain things that you got to be like, yo, I did this and I created this. And I think that's when change is going to happen. The reason I say there's a level of mental
Mhm.
health that needs to be dealt with is because I don't think that she took any of this serious. I don't think she ever takes things serious unless
Mhm.
um it affects her pockets.
Right.
Um
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Then let me ask you this: do you think she purposely started this fire?
hmm, man, you killing me with the good questions.
Mm.
Um
I wish people would kill me
self
with some beans. I'm just
self-consciously
coming off a 6 day ban. I'm just saying.
self-consciously, you know how like some people, you know how like some people say they just drawn stuff, negative stuff is drawn to them.
Hmm.
I think that's her. I think that self-consciously she did it on purpose, but she didn't realize that it would get this bad, right? She didn't realize it would be like the like she go like I think in her head she went, this would be fun, right? But then the fun turned into this is really fun. But just like a addiction, right? It's cool to dibble dabble in it, right? Y'all dibble and dabble, right? Y'all, it's like alcohol. Y'all drink alcohol. She drinks the whole fifth and then go and get another fifth and then take a Percocet with it and then smoke
Mm.
weed. Like,
Mm.
stop, stop. Everybody else
Mm.
on here is drinking the alcohol, but you're taking other stuff with it. Stop.
Hmm
And I don't think when a person is addicted, they don't know how to stop. And that's why I
hmm
think her issue is she shouldn't have played with this because she don't know how to stop. Because even now she
Right.
doesn't know how to stop.
No, she doesn't. No, she doesn't at all.
I
And
don't
it's
think
And
she
mind
want to
blowing.
stop.
Yeah.
Some
you
people
said
who
what?
like alcohol, I don't think she want to stop. Some drug addicts like being Lord addicts. Lord, I can't talk.
Yeah,
Some people
yeah,
who drink like to drink. Um, Same thing with cigarettes, anything else. Some people like the addiction. They don't want to stop. They even fall in love with it. That's why it's called an addiction. And in her case,
yeah.
I
hmm
don't see her wanting to stop. She started the fire. She likes the fire. She's been burnt by it. She enjoys the colors, the heat, so on and so forth. And at this point, like there's no stopping. Cause I don't see her fighting for Hezekiah or the rest of the kids. I don't
That's
ever see her fighting for them.
that's why we gotta hold people like this up in prayer, right?
hmm
If this was your cousin, what would you do? Hold him in prayer. If this was your uncle, you will hold him in prayer. If this was your parent, you will hold him in prayer. That's what I think needs to happen. There need to be. We know the family not gonna hold her in prayer. You know, at
Right.
least if they
hmm
are right. At least if they are, you know, they need help. They need more people to help hold her up in prayer. Because if they ain't already been having her in prayer, they need help. And so the one thing that I do know is a lot of people on here has prayed on the back end for me and
hmm
things have worked out a certain way. People on here gonna need to pray,
Hmm.
you know,
So,
because I don't get it. My addictions is a little different. My addictions is the Skittles, okay? Starbursts, okay? You know what I'm saying? My addiction might be food, but what I've learned when I started losing weight is I can still have all that stuff. I just got to do it in moderations, right?
Right.
right.
So her thing is she needs to, if she's going to stay on here, she just need to do it in moderation.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if you can't control the moderations, don't do it at all. But I can't tell her what to do. I've never been able to tell her what to do. I've never been able to suggest what to do. You hear how she talked to me when I talk to her nice.
Right.
Um,
She has no
you
respect.
none. And
Mm-hmm.
she, and the thing about it is, this is how it always been with me and her. I've never talked to
Mm-hmm.
her with disrespect, and I don't have time to do it.
Right. And so, with that being said, do you feel that she is going to take the proper steps that she needs to take, even though, if we hold her in prayer and, all that good stuff? But do you think that she is going to take the proper steps to get her children back?
Man, y'all give me some good questions. Jesus, I wasn't even gonna take no questions today. um, let me say that. Let me say this. I don't know, but
Mm-hmm.
you guys prayed for me to figure out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when I got on that phone call with Charlie, I was dead set on I didn't want to deal with this girl no more, no matter what.
Right.
And through conversation and prayer, y'all made me completely change my mind. Talking to Cooper completely changed my mind. I'm 38, and I a lot of the people on here was able to help me change my mind and do certain things. So at 38, I'm still changing my mind. I want to believe that she can continue to change through prayer
Mm-hmm.
and through people talking common sense to her. So so
You're
maybe
breaking up, Gerard.
you know I she um,
Hearts in the comments, y'all. You breaking up, Gerard. I'm
all
sorry.
right.
It's all right. We couldn't hear nothing you were saying.
um so I want to believe that she can, you know, she will fight,
Mm-hmm.
but again, I don't. I, I, I mean, just pray for her, and maybe it worked for me. Maybe it'll work for her. I don't know,
Right.
but I just don't know. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And she's such a sporadic person that you don't know, and you don't know if it's serious or not. Like I got
Mm-hmm.
sent something to me, and they said she was crying online. You know, it's hard because one, I want to have sympathy and empathy, but I don't know if it's real. And
Mm-hmm.
that sucks, right? Nobody ever
Right.
wants to look at a person and go, I don't even know if they're being real because of so many lies they've told me. Um, so I don't know. I don't know if she wants
Right.
to or she will. I just don't know. I
No,
mean,
I
it's
I
sad.
completely understand. Mm-hmm. So, Gerard, question: Are you open to any question? I know you said you didn't really want to answer anything. So, and if you are not, you don't want to answer any more questions or anything like that from nobody else, that's completely understandable. This is, for you and for you to be comfortable. So, were you
Mhm.
open to answer any questions from like any of the commenters?
Yeah, I'll do some questions for about another couple minutes. Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing that.
Okay, okay, that's fine. So,
You just you're not gonna get me to say anything bad about her. So in the
right, no,
comments, you can
yeah,
cuss me
I completely
you can cuss me out. You can tell me about myself,
no,
but
I'm
Nah,
you
nobody
ain't
is
know
nobody
you're
allowed
not
to
cussing
gonna.
you out. Anybody come up
yeah,
here
and
with that fool la
nobody
la, you getting
disrespecting
shot
me.
the hell up out of
Yeah,
here. So come up here with
they
some sense and some respect. This is
Yeah,
this is a cool
right.
panel. We not in the mood for it.
Yes, they
yeah.
will
I
get
I
kicked and booted. I ain't going for no. I told everybody that before you even came over here. It ain't no disrespect. Keep it cute, please, because
yeah.
listen. Snipers is on deck, and you will be out of here before you get to finish your damn question. If I sense that it is a little bit of shade, disrespect, any of that shit, you gone. So if you in the queue and you on bullshit, Get the fuck out. So, sister, anybody can want somebody drop for me, please. I ain't want to open up the boxes no more than what they already. Hold on, just 1 second. I know I had Stephanie.
It's
Hey,
sitting in my
Steph.
garage. Hold on. Hey, baby. Hi, Jarrod. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Can you hear me? You know who this is, right?
No.
This is Stephanie, the girl that originally reached out to you.
Oh, okay, okay. So you're the number that I called when for Hezekiah to talk to the kids.
No, I'm the girl, the very first girl that reached out to you. I'm the one that connected you with Charlie. Remember, Stephanie?
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
So I just wanted because
So you the
I'm
one.
not
So you
really.
one of the ones that found me.
I'm the one that found you. There you go. So I just wanted to apply to you because you know that first conversation me and you had, you were like over it. You were like, I'm not dealing with her. She's fucking crazy. She did this, and you even showed me the messages to really prove that she really was not fucking together. And if I can be quite honest, um, I felt guilty for reaching out to you. I felt bad because I know that's kind of like the foundation of Bigo. That's what people do, and they do it maliciously to try to destroy people's life. But when I did it, it was really out of a state of concern. Um, and I felt so guilty. I'm like, why did I do that? Oh my god! And when you connected with Charlie and you guys had that interview,
Oh,
and I
I'm
actually
sorry,
heard you.
Stephanie.
Yeah, I can't do it, ma'am.
I
We
can't
don't.
either.
What's wrong?
No, you don't go
No,
to
because this
Walmart
ain't
What's
and
wrong?
Charlie Live.
promote Kmart. You don't do that. Don't
And
do
I
it.
understand you connected
Wait,
him
no,
with it. So
correct me
what's
if
the
I'm
Well,
wrong. What am
question?
I doing
let
wrong?
let
No, can you
let me
ask
let
No,
me
again?
I
let
was
me
I'm
just,
say.
sorry.
I was
Hold
just,
on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Hey, so I kind of get where she's trying to go. Don't feel bad that you reached out to me. Don't feel bad. You
yeah,
did. Listen, God leads people a certain way and in certain situations. Don't feel bad that you reached out to me. I think it was Scorpion Sniper. She wrote me. She said so many things about me, and you know what I'm saying. I had to sit back and I had to think about some stuff she said. So you didn't do
mhm,
anything wrong. You guys were
okay,
concerned, and let me say thank you for reaching out because I would have never knew any of this stuff was going on. So
and
thank
that's
you
what
for
I was
reaching
trying to
out,
get at.
and
Yeah,
don't
that's what I
and
was trying
don't
to get
feel
at, just
bad.
applauding you. Yeah,
Yeah,
Okay.
and that's all I
don't
was
feel
trying to say. It
bad.
wasn't to offend anybody. Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
don't
No,
feel
no.
um,
bad.
Okay.
Don't feel bad. You didn't do anything wrong. I think a lot of people on here, and I've learned that has just is it was just concern. And I think a lot of people
yeah,
wanted me to feel more concerned. I think a lot of people wanted me to be more concerned about Hezekiah than my own personal feelings about her. And I think they were right. And I'm glad
yeah,
that people reached out for Hezekiah more than just reaching out for me.
Right.
What I say is thank you. But what I also will
Yeah.
say is, uh, for some people, you know, when you're reaching out to people, pump your brakes because I have a different personality, so
mhm,
you know I accepted it, but somebody else could be really evil and
right,
go at you a certain way. So
right.
be careful about
And
doing
that's
that
why I
next
was so
time.
skeptical afterwards. Yeah, and you're right. And that was my whole reason why I bring it up because I was like, oh my god, why did I do that? Did I
No,
open up
you're
a door
fine.
for?
You're fine.
Oh,
You're
you
So
did
fine.
a
that's why.
wonderful thing. That
Yeah.
was a good thing,
Yeah.
girl.
So you guys, it wasn't me coming up trying to be like rude or anything like that. It's just that's what had been on my mind because this is serious. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
Right.
I felt bad, but now seeing the end result of it is beautiful.
It's
It
yes,
really
that
is.
was a
Yeah.
It
wonderful
really
thing.
is. It's a
Hmm.
wonderful thing. It is. So y'all have a good day, and
You
I'll be
too,
gone.
Steph. All
All
right.
right, bye.
Thank you.
All right.
And make sure
What's
y'all
for dinner
audio and
tonight,
everything is
You said what's for
together.
dinner tonight?
Gerard?
Lynn,
Tonight,
you gotta fix your
You say
connection,
you
baby.
cook every morning and
I
every
do.
afternoon. What's for dinner?
Tonight I'm doing a Louisiana style pasta. I'm doing a
Damn, damn.
it's gonna be linguine. It's gonna be turkey sausage, chicken, and what I normally do for my Alfredo sauce, I do a tomato creamy sauce, and I'm gonna just do spinach. Keep it simple.
I know, right? I want to come to his house. Y'all get y'all a fluffy nigga. They be winning. They be winning.
Period. Hey, True. True. You probably got
And for
yourself
those
on
of
mute.
you